Hey guys, coming to you from the couch, almost a week post-op from the DRG, and hurting pretty bad today. But I wanted to continue on with the topic of sort of comparing and contrasting the DRG and the spinal cord stimulator. So basically, the spinal cord stimulator is what it is called, spinal cord stimulator. It sits on the spinal cord and it works to sort of beat those pain signals from reaching the brain. I sort of visualize it as, there's two race cars, there's your pain and there's your spinal cord stimulator. And the signals set off by the spinal cord stimulator beat the pain signals to the brain. And so that's sort of how that works. You have a lot of options in terms of where you can place the spinal cord stimulator, because your spinal cord is very long. People have it at the cervical level. I personally have it at my T8, T9, and you can have either leads or paddles. And so this differs from the DRG because the DRG is more basically focal or focused. It's especially indicated for individuals like myself who have CRPS. I have CRPS type 2, and it began in my left foot. And my DRG is placed at the S1 level on my left side to exclusively address my left foot. And the uniqueness of the DRG is, first of all, it's only indicated for lower body pain, like lower extremities, and it sits basically where what its name says, in the dorsal root ganglion. And these are, instead of inside of the spinal cord, it leads to the spinal cord, and it's like almost like a grape, and it goes into that. And inside of the dorsal root ganglion, you have a bunch of nerves, and they get super duper excited when you're having chronic pain or are in pain. They're like overexcited, like they're having a little party. And so what the DRG does is it sends pulses to the dorsal root ganglion body, and it like calms the nerves down by providing that stimulation. Similar to the spinal cord stimulator in that it does distract the pain, but the DRG is nice in that it can really zero in on the spot that you want. And one really cool thing that I learned is that, and you'll see a picture of it, I'll be putting up pictures, that while the spinal cord stimulator, because it's on your spinal cord, it's surrounded by a lot of the cerebral spinal fluid. Meanwhile, the DRG does not have a lot of that cerebral spinal fluid surrounding it. And so, and that fluid, it can sort of cause signals to get crossed, and like I know that that's why it makes the spinal cord stimulator sort of position based. I know I have to turn it down when I lay down because I feel it, like I get overstimulated, and so it can sort of just make the signals go a bit wacky. And so meanwhile for the DRG, there's not a lot of that fluid, so there's very little room for things to get messed up. And so I would just encourage you to, if you're considering a spinal cord stimulator, to also check out the DRG. I have CRPS from my thoracic region down. It spread from that foot to my entire body, essentially. And so the spinal cord stimulator was absolutely necessary for me. And then this DRG is helping that bad foot that just, the spinal cord stimulator wasn't helping. But, do your research, knowledge is power, and I wish you well on whatever part of your journey you're on. Have a good one, guys.